Hello everyone, welcome to another Python and Tkinter video. In this video, we'll be discussing about hiding widgets. So how do we hide widgets? So we can use the greet remove method in Tkinter to remove a widget from the greet geometry manager without destroying the widget itself. So if we remove it, it will be just temporarily removed. But if you want, you can show this again. Okay, so you're not completely destroying the widget. So let's look at an example. So first thing, the three steps. So you're going to import tkinter as tk, make your root or the window, and then you have your loop, the main loop running. So here I'm going to create a label. So I'm going to call this label 1. Keep it out the label class, pass the root, pass the text. I can call this let's call this this is a test widget. And then what I can do is I will just use the greet geometry manager. So if I run it, we should be able to see the label 1 here. So this is a test widget. So now I want to hide this widget. So what I can do is, as I said, the method name is greet remove. Okay, so greet underscore remove. So I'm gonna say underscore 1 dot greet underscore remove. So as you can see, it says unmap this widget, but remember the widget, remember the greet options. So it's not gonna completely destroy it. So if I run it, what will happen is not going to see anything because the code is running so quickly that you didn't even see it first and you're seeing that it's gone. So in order to first see it and then remove it, we can create a function and do this that way. So to do this, we can use the root.after method. So we can also hide the label for a few seconds and then show it again. So initially what we will do is we will hide the widget and then we will display it after, let's say, 2 seconds. So in order to do this, we can use the root.after method. So let's see how that works. So initially, we will remove it. So obviously, if I run the code, you're not going to see it. But then what we're going to do is we're going to create a function so that we can display the widget again. So let's create a function. Let's call this def display label. Okay. So here, what we will do is we will show the widget again. So you can say label 1, and then we will say read. So if you just write to the command label 1.greet, that means it will show up again. What I mean by this is if you just write after you're saying remove, if you again say .greet, it will be displayed again. So if I run it, you will see it again. So it was first displayed, then I removed it, then it's showing up again. But you're not going to see all three because it's happening so quickly that you'll only see that it's showing. And that's why you're going to add a delay. So you'll properly see that it's invisible and then it is getting displayed. Okay. So that's why I am going to remove it. So first you created it, then it has been removed. And then there is a method, there is a function that we created, which is going to show this again. But we want to do this using the root after method so that after 2 seconds, it will be displayed. You can see the syntax here. You have to do root dot after. The 2000 is 2000 milliseconds, which is 2 seconds. And then you're calling the function, which will show the widget. So what I can do here, so here, let's add a comment here, show the widget. So remember, initially, the widget will, our label will not be displayed, okay? And then I'm going to use root dot after. I'm gonna wait 2 seconds, and then I'm gonna call the display label here. So what will happen here? You will wait 2 seconds, and then the function will be called. So you will see the label again after 2 seconds. So let's run this and see how this works. So you can see it's not visible, and then you can see that it's showing up. So it waits 2 seconds, and then it displays the label. So that's how you can hide or show a label depending on your project needs. Okay, another scenario we can do here. So you can also create a scenario where a button works as a switch. So if you press the button, so hide the label, let's say this is the button, and the label will be hidden. And if we press the button again, the label will be visible. So if you click the button, hide the label, it will hide this. Okay. So it is working as a switch. And if you press the button again, the label will be visible. So in order to do this, we're going to use another method called winfo is mapped. So we're going to use this method, and we can create this scenario. So winfo is mapped method is used to check whether a widget is currently mapped. When I say mapped, it means whether it is currently visible on the screen or not. And this method returns a Boolean value, so it will check, okay, is the label or the widget is visible. If it's visible, the return value will be true. If it is not, the return value will be false. Okay, so we're going to use this here. So in order to do this, let's first, okay, let's keep everything for now. I'm not going to use this one here. Let's comment this out. So what we will do is we are first going to create let's create a button first. So you're going to create a button that says hide the label, and then there is a label that says this is a label. So let's do that. So let's create a button here. So we should create a button first. So I'm going to say button one. Okay, button root, and the text we will say is hide the label. Hide the label. And then let's use the grid. If you notice here, I did not use row and column because if you don't use it, it will automatically pick row 0 and column 0. The first one will be row 0 and then column 0. Then if you have another grid, it will be automatically row 1, column 0, and so on. So we're not going to remove this here. Initially, we should just see the two widgets. So just like the way we have this here, so hide the label, and there is the label. So if I click on run, you will see the button, hide the label, and then this is a test widget. So this will hide the label for you. Let's also use a different color. It's light blue. Okay, so we have this. So now we can start working on it. So as I said, we are going to use the winfo is mapped method. Okay. So what we will do, let's create a function. So this is a function already we have. Let's comment that out and then create a new function. So let's say def hide show. So this function will be responsible for hiding or showing the widget. So we have to check if the label 1 is displayed or not. So right now you can see that it is displayed. We can see it. So what we will do is we will say label 1 dot, and then we're going to use the method winfo is mapped. So we'll say winfo is mapped. So this will check whether the label is visible or not. So we're going to use a conditional statement here. So you can say if label one.winfo is mapped, that means it's displaying right now. So if it is displayed, we will hide the widget. So you can say label one dot read remove. Okay. So if you are seeing it, we will hide this. And other than that, we will make sure that it is displayed. So in that case, we'll just do label one read. So again, what's the purpose of this function? The purpose of this function is to check if your label one is mapped. Mapped means it is displayed. If this is displayed, what we will do is we're gonna hide this. Other than that, it should be displayed. But what action will perform this function? Okay. So when this should take place? This should take place when you click the button, hide the label. So when you click the button, only then this function will start working. So that means we have to tie this function to this button, hide the label. So what we will do in the button right here, we're going to pass that as a command. So command is equal to hide show. So we are calling the function. So when you click the button here, this command will be hide show. So it will perform this. It will first check, okay, is this displayed? If it is displayed, it will remove it. If it is not displayed, it will show it. Okay. So as I said, it's working as a switch. So let's see what it does. So right now, initially, this is displayed. So if I click the button right now, that means the if condition will work because it sees that, okay, the label is actually displayed. So it will hide this. So if I click on the button, you can see that it's gone. Okay, so it's not showing anymore. If I click this button again, you will see this again. Okay, so that's how you can use this as a switch so that the label can be displayed or removed. Okay, so that's the purpose of using the winfo is map method. Okay, so these are three scenarios to hide or show your widget. So hopefully this makes sense. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.